Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm Aaron, better known on Board Game Arena as webberaj, and welcome to Open Table. If you're brand new to the stream or you are just running into this VOD on YouTube, let me give you a quick overview on what today's game is all about. Open Table is an all-expert commentary stream. I run this once a week here on Twitch. We play a game on training mode, so no ELO is won or lost. We're using the BGA adaptation of Terra Mystica, which is really wonderful. And I'm joined every week by 3 other experts from the Board Game Arena community, and we play a game of Terra Mystica open hand. So we're going to talk strategy openly. We're going to reveal our own hand, even if it means possibly throwing our own game from time to time. The idea of tonight's stream is just to have a good time and allow people who are newer to Terra Mystica, or they've been playing it for a while but they're trying to develop their game further, to just sort of have a window into sort of how experts are thinking through games as they're playing. So that's the idea behind tonight's game. Chat is, of course, open for questions. We're going to try to be as interactive as possible. So if you disagree with some of the moves we're making, let us know. If you have questions, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Without further ado, let me introduce the players we have with us today. I've got MrFickles joining from the USA. I've got Don from Austria, both our first time on Open Table, and then returning champion DanyB coming back
Not him again.
Say hi, guys.
Jesus.
What's up?
Hello. Hello.
Hey, folks in chat. Sorry, I'm just catching up here. I've got Ryan, Jekyll, and I'm going to butcher your username here. Is it Siver? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Please let me know how to refer to you in chat. Heroics here as well. Awesome. Nice to see folks. So let me just jump over to the game board. I'll show you what we've got for today. We're doing base, auction as per usual, and we're doing landscapes on. So we're back to sort of fairly straightforward stuff. Part of the reason why, if I can just give you a quick window into my own life, is there is a convoy in Ottawa right now. Trucks are driving from all over the country, landing in Ottawa to protest government lockdown stuff related to COVID. I don't know really what they're complaining about, but they're complaining about a bunch of stuff. And my wife and I had to pick up a cat in Hamilton, so we left really early this morning, around 4 o'clock in the morning, to get out before the trucks closed down the city en masse. So I have been on very little sleep, and I'm streaming from a different location. This is the office of a friend of ours, so I'm streaming from Hamilton in someone else's room. So anyhow, that's what's going on with me this weekend. How is everyone else's Fridays? I suppose a little less eventful than mine, but
It's pretty
I'm in
good.
the
It's going
dream.
swelling. Yeah, it's pretty good. Can't complain.
A little ice skating on the neighborhood rink.
oh, nice.
Ah,
Well, that's fun.
Now I'm doing a little caffeine and alcohol and Terra Mystica.
That's
I mean,
a great
what could
mix.
be better than that?
I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Would you, Fickles? Why don't you break down this lovely setup for us? This seems like
Ooh
a
la
wonderful
la.
game. What have we got going on
Yeah,
here?
let's see. Wow. Okay. So dwellings round 1 and 2. So early expansion is pretty exciting. You could pop TPs in 2 different rounds. So that's kind of interesting because that you could go for more of a, build TPs and then take air one, or you could build out more and then, take like a water one and then build TPs after, for example. And then big building last round. There are a handful of factions who prefer the last round big building. So there's no late like temple event where people will get tons and tons of coins off the cult for having priest a cult. So that priest back from water round 1 is okay, but it's not that exciting here. So I don't think we're gonna be like punching each other for early cult attacks here.
Right.
How about you guys? What are you seeing?
I see mermaids because I saw fakirs mostly. And yeah, mermaids are pretty good, I think, here because if they don't do a big dwelling rush round 1, they can do it round 2 probably. And then towns, you could get 1 town at least in round 4, and mermaids love the stronghold at the end. So, and there's a ship VP score, so
Ship
yeah,
tiles in.
let's go for mermaids.
Don, why were you thinking fakirs here? I'm just curious if you can, like, how would you, if you ended up on fakirs, what would be sort of your game plan with them here?
First, I would say that landscapes are on, so they're
Right.
more attractive than usually. Then I would say that it's quite sure that mermaids will be in the game, so that makes them also very attractive on this map.
Right.
And also, like at the end, let's say scoring will be a little bit more difficult as well. The bonus tiles, they don't have so much points, so I think fakirs are much more attractive than usually.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, the thing I dislike with fakirs is both shipping tiles are in the game, so
Yeah.
you might get stuck with something you don't really want, but it's not the end of the world.
I mean, I guess one good thing to say about that is, like, worst case scenario, if no one takes either, like if mermaids don't take temp ship for whatever reason, you're landing on 6 coins in first seat. This isn't quite one of those setups where there's just like you're not getting stuck on like a worker or something in round 1.
Yeah.
Presumably mermaids do take temp ship here if they're allowed to, especially if like green's not in and they can do a full D rush. Which means fakirs might see a priest or worker power in first seat.
You would be a savage to put green on here. You could do it, but it would
with
be
engineers?
it would be very disruptive.
Yeah. No, I like tidy color wheels. I'm immediately based on the setup. I mean, black is classic here, or brown. So I could see any of those four factions possibly.
Do alchemists or something like that.
Yeah, alchemists would be interesting. They could start with a priest, which is nice for them. They just get their shipping start. They get all their dwellings out in the first 2 rounds, which they like.
It's sort of tricky with mermaids, depending. I guess if you take alchemist, then you probably start temp ship, because if you let mermaids start temp ship, I think a lot of your blacks are gone probably by the end of
Giants.
Well, I think if you're alchemist, you start on E5, you lose C1. So it's kind of like it's not the greatest alchemist setup, that's for sure. But
I just hate playing alchemist with mermaids in, especially when setups like sort of favor playing mermaids dwelling heavy at the start, which is usually what mermaids do regardless. But yeah, you could put them in. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you some ideas on the matchup. I'll probably steer away from mermaids or alchemists if you put them in.
Yeah. Darklings here aren't that exciting. One thing to just that I immediately note is like, what kind of econ are you seeing in the cults? Fickles, you mentioned this, that there isn't that like doubling up of like every cult reward is 2 rewards because of the temple event. You mentioned that before, so that's annoying if you want to try to really play cults in a dominant way. There's no just generally doubling up of any cult rewards, and round 1 priest into round 5 water spades doesn't really count, I don't think. Basically, the cult rewards here aren't amazing, other than there's just a ton of spades at the end of the game. So like that doesn't look good for cult rewards for Darklings. It's poor in the first 2 rounds for cultists. Priests into firepower is possibly one of the worker or like weakest cult reward openings for cultists that I can think of.
Yeah, it's not great.
I don't see like halflings. I mean, you can always play halflings on base. They're a good time, but then you just have all these dig rewards and a bonus dig, which makes your digging abilities less interesting. And then alchemists are suboptimal here. So that's a lot of things that I don't like. What do I like?
Yeah, you got stuck with the hard pick. We just picked the classic yellow, blue, and gray, and you got stuck with the.
My problem with cultists is like I've played so many like cultists so much that I like throwing them in when there's something interesting you can do. I don't see what you can do interesting here. You don't get the water priest. You get some power going into round 3. I don't know. Like you just played.
Hey, you start with a spade and you temple 3 dwellings, and it's a good time, you know.
I guess so, and it's just like find me the world's smallest violin. Poor cultists just get temple 3 dwellings without spending any of their power.
Yeah, it's just God. Life is hard.
Life is hard for cultists. Yep.
So landscapes are on. We have to remember that.
Landscapes are on. Okay.
I just really want to play mermaids. so I'll just speed things up.
I mean, they're not that good. Well, are they? I don't know. What we're supposed to know the answer to this. What are things worth?
I hope actually that someone would pick swarmlings instead of mermaids. I think they are way easier to play. Because
You
the
think
track is
swarming?
so up. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they're more easy to play.
Swarmings. I think they're tricky in their openings. I think once you know like what to do with the ton of, it can be intimidating at first to figure out like what can you do in the first 2 rounds with all these resources, and what's the cost of opportunity of your choices. Like if you take double dig early on, you might not get an early SA, or it's. I think once you've got that figured out, I think it's pretty smooth sailing. Yeah.
I think that for swarmlings generally, I mean, for them actually both works. Like if they have the double dig, it's okay. If they have the priest, it's okay. But
Yeah.
most of the factions, I think, just they rely a lot on the double dig because, for example, in this setting, the engineers fight against the mermaids for the double dig. So, and it's for both pretty important.
Yeah.
But for swarmlings, they don't mind if they don't have it. So
Right.
it does it. So I think they're pretty good in this. They are a pretty open faction for this. You can go a lot of strategies.
Yeah, like if I'm engineers here, I think we can assume that engineers are never getting the double dig.
Yeah.
I think mermaids just immediately in whatever tile they start. So I think I'm angling more for a worker power with engineers and trying to get single spade.
Absolutely.
And open 2 temples and a dwelling. That's probably what you're trying to achieve.
And I think
Which is a
engineers
very good opening.
spade first action. Because Fakir, I think it's going to go spade with cultists. Engineers take worker power to threaten double dig. Mermaid says nope, nope, takes temp ship and goes D-rush. Fakirs get a priest. And engineers do not want Fakirs flying with that priest. So I think engineers open with single spade to make sure Fakirs don't get a spade. Fakirs then have a priest that they don't fly anywhere with, and so they just throw it to a cult for no reward.
Well, Fakir's our first seed, so I don't. Depending on how the leech happens and where people upgrade.
Fair enough.
But you might not want to take that risk.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe you do upgrade, but only if it's certain that you aren't, giving Fakirs the extra leech.
Spaced out for a second. Are you worried about jumping to D4? Is that what you're talking about?
G4.
What you said that you're really worried about them digging round one?
Oh, yes, because you wouldn't want them to take a spade when they don't deserve it.
Spade. Oh, it's just the spade. It's
I don't mean there's nothing engineers have against Fakirs. It's just I think that would be that, like, based on the correct evaluation of this auction, you don't then go into this game if you somehow mess up and Fakirs end up getting the spade while starting on the priest. That would be a setup where you'd say, oh, Fakir's got a better opening than we would have expected here.
Yeah, because Fakirs could spade G2 and then fly to I7.
Exactly,
if
they would open temple and get 2
bit.
dwelling. Yeah, as opposed to a temple and a priest to a cult for no reward, which is what I think we're bidding on right now.
I mean, there's always water 2 Fakirs, right? Never, don't sleep on water 2 Fakirs.
Yes, there is always water 2 Fakirs.
Actually, it's very viable. If you have the spades, and like if you have TP first rounds, you double temple, because oftentimes people often neglect the cash cult if it's in the game. I've done that a few times with Fakirs. You start with the cash and the extra cult bump, then you get a spade and you get things rolling. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I find landscape Fakirs really hard to evaluate.
Yeah,
like with the landscape, it's really hard to figure out like that. What's that 2 coins per flight worth?
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky because there's often situations where you'd rather have a dwelling like super early on, like you'd get some workers, but so finding the right timing to put it down is pretty tricky, because sometimes your first spades usually are spades that you want to build dwellings to upgrade to TPs, especially for town purposes. So sometimes navigating that sort of intricacies is not at all obvious.
I think also that.
I just wanted to quickly go back to someone in chat. I'm going to call you Civ, if that's okay. I don't know how to pronounce your username. there's tons of people in this stream that are totally new to the game, and the commentary we're have to provide tonight is probably going to covers like things that are a bit more high level, and also we're going to talk about stuff that's kind of basic Terra. So hopefully the content's good for you, and absolutely ask any questions. People on all the time asking things like, "What's a landscape?" or how does the double dig work? Like those are totally reasonable questions if you're brand new. Don't worry about that whatsoever. Everyone calls you Civ. I don't know how to pronounce it either. Okay, fair enough. Civ it is. Sorry, Dong, you were chatting about something.
I was just want to say something to the landscape of Fakirs. I think that last arena season at Fjords, I think they really have been underestimated, at least at the beginning of the season, because they were so strong on this Fjords map, and the landscape
Yeah.
made them, I think, so strong. So I think that it's really difficult to say, because I think on the base map, even if they have landscape, they're still probably not so strong.
Mm-hmm.
But 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 because on fjords, I think they often have been in a lot of setups stronger than Darklings, for example, in my opinion. Even though you saw that at the beginning, always Darklings were betting, but I think often Fakirs have been way better. But normally Fakirs always like Giants, the 40 victory points faction. So you don't take this so much into account, in my opinion.
No, Fakirs. I have had some gnarly games with Fakirs on Fjords. Yeah, they're super fun to play on that map. There's a lot of of ways you can get some early fights without having the range upgrade pretty easily.
This map, I think, I always wonder, like for mermaids, I wonder how they get the leech at the beginning. Because they start E4, D5, they maybe get at E4 the leech from Fakirs, maybe. But at E5
you get plenty leech this game with yellow in the map.
Because
you opened
you opened
Running Rush. Yeah.
So D3, any D3 upgrades are 3 structures. Like not in turn 1, it's going to take you 3 turns to get there, but like you're double digging C1, C4 in the setup, I think, and just going C1, D2 as quickly as possible, so that as Fakir's upgrade, you're getting power. That's kind of my take on that.
And I think if you don't get too much early power, you just need power for double dig. After you just chill round 2. You don't do a lot. Maybe you do a trading post. Maybe you do trading posts round 3. Round 2 you send. I don't know what you do round 2. You can just pass and sit on your workers.
In round 2, it's a funny thing post Dwelling Rush. In a perfect world, you like pass for 6 coins and you squeak out a temple. And I think in a Dwelling Rush, the most you can really hope for is you get a coins tile or a coins action, you build a temple, and then you pass. I can't imagine what else you're doing really other than that. And then sometimes you don't, so sometimes you just build a trading post and then you pass, kind of thing, and you get your temple in round 3. Round 2 can be awkward for D-Rush stuff.
Oh, you don't need to open Dwelling Rush though.
With mermaids?
This game too. You don't need to.
Isn't it just better?
You can, but
this is an interesting. I always thought like D-Rush, take D-Rush. Like why wouldn't you just want?
It's because round 2 is Dwellings.
Round 2 is Dwellings as well. So maybe if you can sort of Temple Fire 1, maybe then pass for Ship VP. That's another way to score pretty good, because opening Dwelling Rush, you sort of delay your priest production probably till round 3. So it's not clear that it's the best opening here. I really like it when it's trading post round 2. That would be pretty amazing. Yeah.
It definitely is good, but I agree. You've got options. You don't have to do it round 1.
Right. I'm not really sure on these bids. I think this is the points difference. No, I'm being super inconsistent here, and we haven't really talked about it. I think mermaids are better than engineers here. What do you guys think? We've been.
I would agree with you if it was black, but since it's brown, like brown is known to upgrade around engineers. Like if it was black could just deny engineers leech for a long time, right? That you could just upgrade on C1 or E5, and engineers would be leech starved. But I think here, because it's brown, engineers will get some amount of leech early on. Maybe not the most, but they will get.
I guess, but if it's black, that's also kind of annoying for mermaids. I see what you mean.
Yeah, because brown will either upgrade f5 and build g5 h7 this round, so you're at least you're getting some leech there, and you'll probably getting some leech in the center. Whereas when it's black, blue, and yellow, you often get that c1, d2, d3 sort of, or e4 leech triangle, and just gray's just being left out of it. So I think because of that, I think engineers are pretty strong. Yeah.
I also think so. I think also the track is pretty good for them.
Yep.
They can score. They can score with the trading post nicely with the city. Can have 2 cities probably in round 4, and also at the last, the big building in the last round is also perfect with the bridges. So I think that's pretty nice for them. They
If
maybe
that,
not even. Sorry.
no, if that
Yeah.
aligns well, yeah, the bridges or an SA for water for air one or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
And then,
But I have to.
sorry, go ahead. I'm just curious, like, when you guys are thinking for Fakirs here.
Yeah, I'm actually just wanted to mention that I'm now thinking of Fakirs because
Yeah.
I put them in and I have to take some responsibilities.
I like fakirs. I sort of, yeah, but I'm not sure how do they. It's tricky. I don't know. Do you open?
You open double
You probably
temple,
go-
don't you? Like, what else are you doing? You
Ye-
get a priest or
yeah.
6 coins depending on what mermaids wants to open. I
A
think.
double temple is pretty good, but it's sort of slow versus cultists. I mean, it depends on how cultists are aggressive towards their shipping and stuff like that, which could be a bad time, I guess.
Yeah,
But,
it's hard to say.
But that landscape makes a huge difference. So
It does.
It does.
It does.
Fakirs are terrible on the cults. Mermaids and engineers can both be fine or like pretty decent if they like they're kind of in that middle range. Like they can do some culty stuff, but they can also kind of be not great on it. So like point is like cultists have probably a pretty good cult game here, even if they're like slower to build temples and aggressively upgrade ship. Like I think they can get a lot of cult points.
I think that actually Fakirs, I think they shouldn't be so bad at cults. I often think that. I think that often I see good games of Fakirs where they're actually successful at cults. Because they often don't need so many priests to fly, like 2 or 3 is enough. So I think often that they should close out at least one cult, the air cult, most often. I think so. If you, but yeah, I mean, comparable, they're weaker, but I think they're not so weak as you would expect them to be, because they use their priest for flying. They should be a little bit stronger. Or the games where they were successful, I've seen they went for cults.
Yeah. Sometimes you could play cult with fakirs, like especially if you go water 2. I know George is a fan of water 2, but it's a very viable. Like there's not only once, but there's a few games where I've played fakirs and I had the opportunity like to take the 2 key town and like close out fire and air and without any real hindrance to my other flying prospects. So it's sometimes these lines just appear, and you get the spade round 3 with fakirs, which is a pretty spades are pretty good for fakirs. Granted they're mid to late, so maybe if they were a bit earlier, but spade rewards are pretty good for fakirs early on. So that's something to think about.
makes a huge difference especially on this map, whether you can get that one Fakir's town pretty easily or not. Here you can.
You have that one space, which is okay. Yeah, it's fine.
So like, because some games that's not the case. Where like, and here it should be fine.
Yeah. Unless cultists want to start E2 for some reason.
E2.
I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen.
I started E3 Giants at some point. I started E3 G2 Giants.
Yeah.
Something like that, because there was it was almost okay, and then I got murdered.
You did that.
Well, the way to pull that off is to be able to stomp your way through the middle to get to D4. You can if you can start E3 G2 and stomp through to D4 with your
Yeah.
first two stomps, then you can just have a good game.
Yeah, for sure. Where's the for sure Fakir's town? Asks Donovan or Mike Donovan. I think the for sure Fakir's town is just D3, E3, E2. Sanctuary eventually. Sanctuary in round 4 for a town round. They definitely don't get one in the center. Then they might get one in the north if cultists are sloppy, but they probably don't. Like cultists just need A7 or anything to kind of.
Oh, I wanted engineers here. Yeah, I was too aggressive maybe on mermaids.
They all look fun.
I also like, for example, to start. So to play player 1, I think that has a lot of advantages. Like to place the last dwelling, I think that's really good to see where the other plays, except in so clear setups. But often that's pretty good. For example, if you have mermaids and witches, and I think the one who is player 1 or could set the dwelling before the other one, and then has the right to set the last dwelling, I think that's a huge advantage because especially on the fjords map, I think.
So I'm thinking H4 here instead of D5.
What?
Works for me.
Because it's sort of is and either digging F4 or leave it there and probably digging H5 because you sort of get the same dwelling quantity if you dig H5 and go I10 versus C4 and A11.
Yeah, and I mean the other argument is if you just play a nice game with engineers, they have F4 and G3 and then take those grays, you just build a town down there. Like that's a town if you don't disrupt them. It's still a town if you disrupt engineers, but it's
I think I like putting pressures. I generally think engineers. This is my thought process. I generally think engineers have the best deal right now, and D5 I get a bit more leech early on, probably. Granted that people will upgrade center, which probably will happen. So, I'm not.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Let's try H4. Why not?
Yeah, you'll give up a little bit of leech, but. And
I
so I have the target on my back already.
I mean,
that was quick.
You super do.
I'm not. Maybe I'm not taking H4. I'm F4. Sorry, I'm not. I'm not convinced on that yet. But
no, I'm curious to see it. This is what we're doing this for, is to try stuff.
Exactly. But although F4 is a lot of leech, now that I think about it too.
I think that's great. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, just to go back to the Fakir's town stuff. Yeah, so the cleanest thing, Mike, if I can call you that, is Sanctuary D3, and then just the E3 and E2 X's. Which, yeah, so you can, it's just like, here, I'll just draw on it. It's like this stuff. The other thing is, as Danny was saying in chat, is like you can cult spade this hex F1, and then you don't need a sanctuary. And then maybe they get up here, but cultists take this hex, and if they haven't committed their sanctuary location, like this could be a second town. So if they haven't committed a sanctuary, then they can maybe have some flexibility to use it for sort of like a northern town. Otherwise, the cleanest thing is, just to do this 3 hex down here, or take this gray or black or something with those cult spades coming in, so that they can like do it without a sanctuary. Sorry guys.
Because the 8th dwelling doesn't really give any other added value, because it's no income and there's points for dwellings next round. So if I really want these 2 points, I could just hard dig next round and
well. The only argument to it, if you're taking, I see. I think the only argument to it is that you're going to want that dwelling for income next round when you have a trading post up and you have 10th shift now. So it's a worker going into round 3 that you wouldn't otherwise have.
True.
Is the way to evaluate it.
Yeah, that's the other side. Let's do the not so aggressive move and see how that goes. I'm curious. Sigh of relief from MrFickles.
I mean, I'm usually in the camp of do the thing that looks slightly better for you, even if it's less aggressive to other players. Like,
Well, I'm not. I'm not. I don't know if F4 was better for me.
I
I
don't think
think
it is
it
either if
was.
you're on temp ship. I mean, you just get out less dwellings.
Yeah, but there's just a lot more leech.
Oh, that's true.
Uh,
There's a lot of
that's the
leech.
other. That's the pension. That's the other thing. But
Fair enough.
we'll see.
Yeah. Fair enough. Simon's in chat. King of Gods says he would have gone F4. The leech is nice. That
King
is
of
true.
Gods is Simon.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The usernames are very similar. He does it on purpose so everyone knows who he is. Super.
And you also have for the scoring tiles in round 2, you also have dwellings. So I think F4 was totally fine here.
Yeah.
Because you can bring them out next round. Make a temple and
Yeah. Also,
so,
but yeah, F4 kind of encourages engineers to come to G3, and I'll eventually need a neighbor on G3, presumably.
Yeah.
So that was the other side, but yeah.
Just looking at this. Okay, so I actually don't need to single dig right now.
Probably not.
'Cause I don't think cultists have the incentive to single dig.
I don't have the worker to do anything with it, yes.
Yeah.
So it's a thing I can do that's, I don't know. There isn't a hex I want to secure that's under threat because I'm probably not getting E5 and D4. So there's no point in me like securing E5, only to lose D4 later. Like there's nothing I'm trying to secure, so it's just a random spade that I wouldn't really use until next round and annoying to you.
Yeah. I could just dig into F4. It feeds Fakir's a little leech, gets me a little leech.
Yeah. And then upgrade on E7.
Yeah, something like that.
Makes sense.
All right.
So I'm just upgrading on E6 to give the most leech and get the most leech. The question I have here is what am I doing with my round 1 power? And I would normally just make this move and then talk about it because it's annoying what I'm about to say, but I don't actually have the answer. My options are on this track, and I know this sounds boring, but I think there's actually something to be said about, as cultists, not always going too early temples and upgrading shipping, but actually to take more early spade actions and advance shipping a little bit later. And when that works really well, it's kind of boring, but I've actually seen it, very high level players do it, and it just kind of makes sense, is if you're skipping your second temple to like round 3, which the track kind of suggests, you build a temple for Earth 1, you get a couple dwellings, you do more dwellings in the next round, and then your second temple's Water 1, and you're just spading more and you're shipping less. If I went that route, not to be too convoluted, having an extra priest production wouldn't actually be bad, which means my steps go to Water right now, and I'm committing to taking action 2 and assuming Fakirs don't want it. So that probably no one could be expected to read that. That's all in my head. But if I click Water here, what that means is that I'm taking Earth 1 this round, delaying my temple to round 3, and my next action is a priest. And if I go Fire here, then I'm taking an Econ favor. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone else, but that's...
But you're gonna build 4 times next to people. No, 3 times only. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why the Water
4
reward
times
is so annoying.
Well, if I go to eat I10 before you reach H7, it's gonna be 4 times, right?
I super never thought about that because I've never played H4 mermaids against cultists.
You gotta decline the 4th step.
Yeah, that probably. Yeah, you can't really gamble on that.
I mean, if it was a spade, I would definitely decline the 4th step.
Yeah, it's a priest. A priest
Would
is
you?
sort of impactful.
If it's a spade, I would.
My argument is I wouldn't, and I bid cultists assuming they get whatever spades everyone expects them to get, kind of. Maybe that's an obnoxious way to look at it.
I mean, especially round 1 is really important to get a free spade.
I guess it's also important to get a leech. I don't know. It's obviously
the other thing going on right now, of course, is that that you're the only cult faction in the game. So the three of us need to be a little careful to not saying, I'm sorry, I'm not saying we all need to deny you cult steps, but we do need to be a little careful that you don't run away with everything.
With those 50 end game points as cultists have been known to do.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I gotta catch up in chat. Ryan's saying, yeah, but you give them the north. Is that to my, like delaying temple stuff a little bit longer? Just dig D4 yellow, then dig it brown. What could go wrong?
Fakirs have a priest. That's why George said that. Like if cultists turn D4 to yellow, Fakirs could just.
Oh yeah.
Could just fly on it.
Yeah. Digging hexes to yellow is pretty bad. It's a bad thing to do. It's not good. So you went there. Okay.
My plan is pretty clear. There's no questions on what I'm supposed to do, I think.
So, I know this seems uninteresting to other people, but I actually am going to run this Earth 1 into round 3 Water 1 line. It's probably the most uncommon thing you're ever going to hear in Terra Mystic is I'm going to take Earth 1 into Water 1 and be experimental with it, but it's a less meta.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. Yeah.
You're a wild man.
Well, the players that I've often been sort of a slave to the build a temple in round 1, take an econ favor, build another temple in round 2, probably, if not you're double templing and take Water 1 or Earth 1 or whatever, upgrade shipping a bunch, do stuff. But I've seen, the players I've actually seen do very good jobs of this are Deep Finesse and Zevok. Play very good games in the last season of Fjords, and it just made sense with the track based on the requirement for priest production. Spades were there, they were digging, they were not shipping. Round 3 was a TP round, and it was just like they're delaying their second temple until late enough into the game that at that point they're just taking Water 1. And it just was one of those things, it's like, on the surface this seems kind of boring, but this actually makes a lot of sense here. I don't know that this is the correct setup for it, but...
Going to bed? No. Thank you. Sorry.
You got some advice?
Did she say good luck, Dad? Or yeah?
Yeah, she said good luck. All right.
What's her favorite faction?
So my younger one's very big on bridges. She likes to see. She gets very pumped when she sees bridges on the board. My older one really likes the cults.
Okay. So your younger one must really love Nerdcube then, because you know.
So engineers and cultists. So they're both two OP factions. It's good. That's...
I have an engineer's T-shirt, so
really,
I always feel obligated to play them now.
You have an engineer's T-shirt?
But yeah, I've got an engineer's Terra Mystica T-shirt. I'm cool like that.
Just waiting for Fakirs to build that extra temple.
Yeah.
Get some leech. It's like it's coming. It's coming.
Don, any particular reason on why this sequence versus? Well, I guess you know Danny's not building a trading post. Is that the argument? For committing the full temple on one side versus sort of the more common splitting TPs at first.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I'm not 100% sure if spading in the next round wouldn't be better first than making two temples. Because if I make two temples, I would think of the coins, maybe taking the coins, but then I would lose the spade.
Mm-hmm.
I think what Aaron meant is maybe if you know you go two temples, you could have upgraded D3 and F3 as both training posts and get more leech from me building around you. While I build T1 and D2.
And I was thinking about that, but I'm considering like taking Air 2 and take next pass for the coins. And taking double dig, start with double dig next round.
And not give me leech.
Not build the second temple this round.
And don't give exactly, but I have to think about it.
I'd like for you to cut G2 off of engineers. I mean, definitely, but that's up to you.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't mind if you dug D4 and G2 next round. That's super fine.
It's true. I mean, with 7 coins sitting there, it's you know, that's more to pay attention to as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the other thing is that, well, I don't actually know. Someone should count this, but do Fakirs just get my spade if they took their workers action, so they have 2 more
I think
actions.
we're waiting on conversions, by the way.
Yeah, we're waiting on conversions done.
Not sure if you're aware.
I guess my question is if Don does go with the second temple, does he just get a spade from me? I don't really know the answer to that.
I think that's the fact that, for example, there's also just 1 coin tile here. That makes it very interesting to get the coins away from the opponents. That they're pretty important, I think, because yeah.
Yeah. I think cultists have 1 action left probably, or they could take a priest or something.
Yeah.
Coins.
So my whole plan here was to take the priest. I think what this does here, I was assuming no one else wants the priest. I take the priest, and then like obviously do whatever you would normally do, Danny, in a normal game. So like don't let what I say influence you. But what I'm doing is I take a priest, so then Danny's like, oh, I might as well give him the cult step. He already has the already has the priest. So then I take the cult step on water and then send the priest to fire.
Yeah.
That's kind of the cultist mind games that I'm playing right now. And then if you decline, then I send it to water, and then it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. Nice.
Anyways, I kind of want the water spot to myself eventually. So it's in my my interest to let you to let you have the cult step on water. If we're thinking about double mind games.
It's a lot of mind games.
Yeah, I kind of regret not taking F4 now. I think it would have been not because maybe it's so much better, but it would have made for a more interesting game. I think seeing engineers bounce back from this early aggression, I don't see that often. Not that they can't. Of course, you could still have a good game. I think, but it's definitely more tricky.
Ryan, you might be right. I'd have to think about that. Ryan's saying I should have taken priest, but use your bumps on fire.
Why?
I don't know, but my intuition is that he's right. No, he's saying I still take the priest, but I do the bumps on fire. Oh, I mean, because then I'm on.
Forget the water priest. I mean, forget the water rewards. Just abandon water.
I think, and Ryan can correct me if I'm wrong. I think I still take a priest, and I still send it to the cultist round, and I still end on 4 water. The difference is my priest spot is taking up the water spot and not the fire spot. I think that's what Ryan's getting at, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
So I'll do this.
So that way you don't need to spend an extra step on. Yeah, I get it.
I guess maybe. But he can deny my step. I don't know.
But
I'm not very good at cultists. I need to play them another 1,000 times. This the other upside to this is that it's gonna just I think I get a coins action, and then I take the spade out of the first 2 rounds. Was the other part of this whole cult priest Earth 1 slow play shenanigans sequence.
So Fakirs, you finally went for a double decline. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, I don't hate it.
I wanted to make sure that you get your neighbor on G3, so I chose this line.
Oh, you're gonna dig G2. Engineers will go G3, and the whole game will just shift.
Exactly.
Also, George, sorry that Nightbot's a jerk. It looks like it was Fickles' fault, who started writing in caps, and then you wrote in caps, but you got banned. I don't know. I have no control over Nightbot. Do I want to send this to fire now? I mean, I don't have to. Probably shouldn't give Danny the spade, but then I just take a worker and a coin, which is not that much work. I don't know. Sending it to fire, it's fine.
Do I really want the spade? Do I really want it? Probably. I just leave it there, but then
I think you're breaking up a bit, Danny. Last I heard you
Angie's
say,
getting a spade.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not taking the spade. Would have let me have it.
You would not have taken the spade even if I let you have it? That can't be what you were saying.
That's correct.
You would not have. Okay. I think I just take coins here, and then I pass on to worker power. And not get any spades next round because fakirs are taking 2 of them and engineers are taking 1. Cool. Good talk. What does temp ship do? I can upgrade ship twice and build a dwelling on A7. Is that good?
Oh, that's dangerous for fakirs. That's bad news.
I mean, what else am I doing? This is the thing. Like, I can pass on to worker power. And then it's a worker, so that's nice. The power is, I send some priests to a call, they get some leech. I'll have enough power to take a power action, but that's going to be what? Probably just coins again. Fakirs are taking double dig. Fickles will take whatever spades the table allows them to. So am I just taking temp ship here, spending both of these priests on shipping? And I'm a big fat liar. I am doing the shipping line, sort of. And just getting 1 dwelling out in the... Oh, I get 2 dwellings? No. Oh, next round if fakirs don't dig B2. So they probably should. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to take temp ship. I don't know if this is correct or not. It's fine.
I mean,
I don't know where fakirs digs are going here.
yeah, I think G2 is probably certain. But
G2
not.
Is D4
The nice thing
interesting?
about
Is
G2
B2 nice
is that
because it's annoying to me? Like, or is E3 to start working on that town and more leech good? I don't really know.
Yeah, B4 would be good, I think, but as you go now for shipping, I think B2 is much better because I think that now in the second round, the second tempo is pretty important for Kiers. And so you have a long round, so you probably can't secure E8 afterwards. I was not 100% sure. And so I think you should more focus on the West now. That would be my approach.
I feel like if I get B2 here, it's a little criminal. But maybe that's what fakirs have to do here. But that just feels like very good. I don't know. Question in chat just while you're thinking about this. I mean, you might be totally right. From Sanket, why NGs chose to convert instead of coin action? Yeah, Fickles, you down converted last round. Could have you just taken action 4? Or did you need to save your power for?
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
It's hard for me to like follow the conversation, read chat, and play at the same
Oh,
time.
100%.
I'm a debutante. I'm going up my learning curve here. I would have taken coin action if I had paid attention. Sorry about that.
All good. And then Ryan is explaining why I need to do a better job playing cultists. Only move 1 spot up on water, but others can deny your step. Everyone accepted your leech this round, but Danny should have denied the leech to not give you a free reward. That's why only moving up 1 step on water gives you, right, the reward. I see. Okay, so it basically de-risks, if I'm understanding it. It de-risks the whole sequence. It's more or less identical, given that I got my way. Yeah. Right, and then having the spot on water is nice because mermaids want it. Fair enough. B2, G2. I think this makes
I'm trying to think here if
sense.
cultists actually want single dig.
I super would if you... I don't see why I wouldn't take it. I think.
Dude, single dig E5 or G4, just put it down.
So are you talking for you? Oh, single dig on G4? No, I think I would single dig B3 and send one of my priests to a cult and not invest 8 coins in shipping.
So my question is, if I go priest to earth here, do you single dig?
I mean, we're bordering on collusion. I don't know
I don't
actually.
think you would.
I don't know. You might be right. I'd have to think about it.
Yeah.
I definitely would if you allowed me to upgrade ship and then it was still chilling there.
Yeah. That won't happen. I'm just trying to think. Although I guess you lost one of your hexes on 3 ship. Yeah, I think I probably.
You take it.
Yeah, I probably do. Just.
Right, because you're thinking the ship line is a little less attractive to me, so I might just be digging a dwelling in a dwelling round and calling it a day.
Yeah, exactly. Now that you lost 1 hex, it's too risky. I think if they weren't gonna take B2 and I thought you could get both, I probably would have risked it. I think it's better for you. Ooh, DanyB.
I mean, there's not much else for me.
The other interesting thing that I can do here is the thing I don't like about 2 ship, other than the fact that I guess I just get to go on the ship VP next round, and there's probably, I don't know, get to that in a second. But other than that, investing 8 coins in shipping is not amazing, right? Early, it's very expensive economically, and it's like I'm securing my connection, but it's not like 2 shipping permanently is just like getting me all kinds of places right now. After this round, so it's sort of just like sinking a bunch of economy right now into this game state just to secure connection that I care about in like an hour and a half from now. So the other thought is I can also just take 2/3 of a spade, and that's fairly inefficient. But I could actually, but what it does is it saves me a ship advance. I can hard dig B3, get out B3 A7, and what that means is that probably no one's taking workers here, so I can send a priest to a cult and be a bit annoying. And obviously that cult would probably just be earth here. And I didn't see that line beforehand. So I think now what I'm doing is I priest to earth. Hope for workers. If workers don't come, then I awkwardly take a priest action or something silly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Interesting choice of upgrade on B2. I think that might be risky because you're not guaranteed to get a town up there. But
where? Danny, are you cutting out again?
From Fakir's. Ooh.
Oh.
Shit.
Yeah, there's a few things I want to touch on in Fakir's game and just ask a couple questions about. And one of them is related to a question in chat from like Donovan. When is Don going to slam down the flight school and get paid? It's a really interesting question. Don, is there a reason that you didn't landscape on B2? And then do your trading posts and stuff on like A5 or D3 for that matter?
I didn't landscape because it's a dwelling round. So, and I think that I have coins right now, and I hope to get the landscape off with my next stick. Fakirs usually, if you don't take Earth 2, struggles in the later stages with workers. So that's the reason why I haven't put it on yet. So.
Fair enough.
And the temple up put because I expecting. I'm not sure if you would take A7, and that's my only way to make a city up there. So I could take A5, A6, and make a sanctuary. And it denies leads to blue, and I anyway will get a trading post to D3 afterwards. So I maybe lose just one round as a one leech token. So yeah, but let's see, maybe.
No, this is interesting.
A lot of ways.
I like this. You're right. I'm definitely like on B7 or on A7 before you are. So you can make a sanctuary town in the north, and that does leave a 4-hex town in the west open for you. It involves a double dig, but you're gonna have, it's a nice town. You've got like tons of neighbors and leech there with mermaids.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're forcing me to burn for 4 tokens for the coins action, which is, it's not very a big worry for me given my worker situation, but yeah.
So I think what I'm doing, because I'm anticipating Fakir's building a dwelling on A5, is I'm actually going to do the hard dig now and then get the workers. And then I guess I start moving up air if people allow me. And fire is nice for that power, but... next round's priest goes to... Sorry, just a second.
Yeah.
So I'm building a temple next round. Engineers are definitely giving me 2 accepts. So those are 2 steps on air and a priest to air. So there's my air spade. So there's a way I get a 3rd step somewhere. So I actually step here on air, which means next round's priest goes to water and I still get the air spade. That's some greedy business, but that sounds pretty juicy. Because I build a trading post.
This is a cultist expert here, folks. So this is spoken like someone who plays 50% of the time cultist.
So there's like, find the average normal line that is like, that's fine, Aaron, just do that. That seems like a great sequence. And you're like, yeah, but how can I get just 5% more than I deserve here and then run your clock down to 0? And then when you get that 5% more is when cultists are really OP. If I can get the priest to water and the air spade. But I'd have to build a trading post next round to do that, and I hate trading posts. I hate trading posts.
Can you guys hear me now, by the way?
Yeah,
I'm just
we can
curious.
hear you.
Okay. Oh, it's settled. Fine.
I won't spend too much more time on this. This is one of these obnoxious moments where I'd be running my clock down and people at the table would be like, why? Like, this seems like such a silly thing. Like, why am I thinking? But this, like, I'm thinking like a round ahead of now. I'm deciding whether I want to build a 2nd trading post next turn, and I super don't want to. But I'm deciding whether I hate a trading post in round 3 more than a priest to water. And I might not hate trading posts that much. All right, I'm going the spicy line here, guys. This is me being spicy. I'm going to build a trading post in round 3.
Wow.
I know.
Trading post on the track. That's.
Wait for it.
I'm gonna build 4. How spicy is that?
50% darklings, 50% witches, 50% engineers, and 50% cultists. Yeah, sounds about right.
I like how all of that was for a single step on air.
It's hugely important with cultists. It dictates how you're going to play the whole game. Not really. It's
No. You're being smart. You're being smart. It's just very, very thoughtful.
If you're obnoxious and want to min-max everything. Oh, gosh, more problems. I can take a 7 coin action and then 3 power to worker. which means
Ooh.
one of my coins doesn't become a
Well,
worker. So I'm converting this
the
as...
way
Sorry, go ahead.
if you're gonna build a trading post, I think maybe you take the workers
Ugh,
since you'll have more
well,
coins. I don't know. It's
I'm also
yeah,
passing on to 6 coins.
that too.
Oh,
So
the
I guess the workers are
decisions.
better here. I guess the workers are better. I think so.
Gosh, you might be right. I hate you so bad for saying that, but you're probably right. Because I'm also getting cultist 6 coins. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, unless you're passing on ship VP, right?
nah. I just want more stuff. Yeah, not a huge fan of points. Give me all the stuffs.
Stuff is good usually.
Cultists
Yeah.
are an expensive faction. They have plans, you know. Okay. Okay. Gosh, I hated that.
All right. Come to me. 7 coins.
$17 workers look impressive in round
Eh,
3.
I just did nothing round 2.
That's an
it's
excellent
not
way to get econ in Terra Mystic, is just skip around.
yeah,
Just don't do anything, and then you're rich.
it's exactly.
Um,
Well, to be honest, I did like a worth of 2 rounds in the round. Like putting down 6 dwellings in 1 round in the first round is pretty, it's okay to take a break round 2. It's fine. You've put in the hard work already.
so Mike Donovan's asking, one thing you don't do well in your own game right now is I don't look at my opponent's games and think much about what they're going to do. Is that what y'all are doing up there? Yeah, I mean, I guess the simple answer to that question is yes, for sure. As much as you can. I mean, I will say this, I definitely spend an obscene amount of time trying to figure out what my other opponents are doing. And I mean, that you're just not it's not always accurate, but...
Yeah, this is where the missing the coin action round 1 is catching up to me.
Yeah.
Having 3 extra coins now would be nice. Yeah.
It's funny because I'm finding it like harder to think about your moves, even though you're talking about your own situations. And I think maybe it is like basically my problem is I'm having a trouble while Weber's talking. I'm having trouble thinking about like the other 2 players' moves. It's like my brain is like I need to rewire my thinking here.
Yeah.
George, incoming from George Shortwell. Love this comment. I don't have the time to go on a rant about this right now, but absolutely. There will be future rants all this arena season because I'm on this as well. My new decision is that workers aren't that much worse than the coins action, and single spade actually isn't that bad if you're hard digging all the time. Anyhow, yes, people are undervalue workers a lot. I'm not saying you signed up for all that other stuff, George, just by putting that one thing there. I added a few tidbits, but there's definitely...
I just think usually it's easier to set up a worker economy and then get coins from the action. But there are some cases where you could build like a lot of trading posts early on and get your workers from the less contested workers action. That's possible sometimes in some scenarios.
Yeah. I think one of the meta things that has like changed over the like has become more prevalent with like larger amounts of players is that people will hard dig quite a bit in the mid game and not take single spade because single spade's bad, coins are good, and hard dig away. And I think the slight caveat to that is that like hard digging is really good if, as opposed to taking single spade, if that same 4 power can be used for a coins action. Like I will generally hard dig and take coins. Like I'll use my power for coins and then make a spade with workers. But if a coin action is gone, you're not converting 3 workers into 7 coins. You're converting 3 workers into 4 coins. And I
Yeah.
think that's a thing you should consider. And most of the game, even in round 6, only if things have gone bad and I've just like I'm that coin poor, I would rather 3 workers than 4 coins. Like obviously, like anyone should. But I'll convert 3 workers to 7 coins, although it's actually not the most amazing deal in the world. It's like 2 to 1. It's fine. It's good. But it's like I think that's the thing. I see people hard digging because they're like, I don't want to take single spade, and I'm like, no, you should only not want to take single spade if the coins are there. Coins are gone, so single spade isn't as bad. Anyhow, breaking my
That's
rule.
interesting.
So that's. I said I wasn't going to rant about it, but I will spend at least 5 hours talking about that this arena season.
So yeah, Don, why haven't you been more friendly to me? I'm not getting this expected leech friendship from fakirs and mermaids. That was not in the plans. Yeah.
Um,
What happened there?
I think Aaron shouldn't talk about the shipping all the time before round 2. So I thought my yellow hexes will be gone anyway. So I didn't
Yeah, I
go
guess.
to D4. I didn't know the D4, but maybe it was good. Hard to say actually. Hard to say.
Well, I hope some leech is coming soon. Well, no, I don't need it this round, but you know, it would be nice. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
One thing I do
No,
notice that happens on base map is like most people who play Terra Mystica are aware of the lovely marriage between yellow and blue on this map. Whether it's swarmlings, fakirs, mermaids, nomads, like they're generally pretty good friends. But it's not edge cases where this happens, right? Like I'd say most games you have the C1, D3, D2 kind of upgrading, and there's all this like power going back and forth. But I've played in games before where it's like it wasn't because either player was trying to block the other person or be annoying. It's just like other things happened on the board state that gave them other priorities, and it was like the last place that both parties ended up actually developing. I don't know if you guys like feel that at all, but like I feel like this is one of those things that like I wish I knew in the auction whether blue and yellow were going to do this or not, because I've like bid on mermaids being like, oh, it's going to be so much fun, we're just going to have all this leech, and then it's like I end up upgrading shipping and going south for reasons, and they end up going north because cultists, and you sort of forget to help each other out. I don't know. Man, I can just have double spade here.
NGs? Yeah.
No,
Or you.
cultists can have double spade. That seems illegal.
You could take away A6 if you want.
I super could, yeah. That's 100% what happens. How did that happen? Was someone else supposed to take spades? I feel like I was not supposed to get this.
You got 4
because
power
I'm
from the...
coin starved. I'm coin starved and on dig scroll, so then it sat there. I think I was probably the person.
And yeah, you got 4 power from the water priest. I mean, that's...
Oh, I got the water priest, which was a gamble. I thought I would. I thought engineers were going to water, and I thought fakirs had no interest in it, and I thought everyone would just begrudgingly give it to me.
Yeah, I thought for sure Fickles would take double spade. It's sad that A6 is gone.
I apologize. That was a weird repercussion of me forgetting to take coin action round 1. I'm gonna just get out of this round.
Well,
okay,
you're gonna use your spade first, but
yeah. So the plan will be so the plan is a little weird.
Oh, I like how that sounds.
Well, it only weird in the sense that I'm like salvaging something that was like a pretty like dumb situation for getting to take the coin action round 1, but I'll be able to get down 2 dwellings, 2 TPs this round.
Okay, that feels good.
So I'll be able to town twice next round.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It was almost really bad. Like the wheels almost fell off there for a second, but like, but anyway, I'm hanging in. Scoreboard is not my favorite situation. Like,
don't worry about that. It only counts at the end, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Anyways, cultist OP. We all know that. So what you were thinking about, Mr. Don?
I'm thinking
But
about
Go
using
ahead, sorry.
using the single spade for my landscape.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking about if I get the double spade, if e5 is available for me. Now as the cultist took a6.
Oh.
So I get from the cult bone, I get 2 spades. And the next round is the city,
E5.
but anywhere. So to pass early and convert it and take it next round.
Yeah.
But I think expansion is now a little bit more important because it looks like I anyway calm down next round. So
Yeah. I'd also like to point out that NGs and Fakirs are doing our job of contesting one of the cults, and I'm not sure who's playing mermaids, but they're not pulling their weight here.
Nah.
I'm not.
Danny's living his best no temple life. Round 3. Just give 0 bicycles.
I'm also feeding cultists an insane amount of leech this game.
Whoa. Says engineers? I'm feeding you leech too, aren't I?
Whoa, no, you owe me a thank you.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Maybe I'm not. Am I not doing my job of giving you enough leech?
No, it's coming. It's coming. No, I mean it genuinely that, like, cultists, you have to keep an eye on, because with all the income they get off the cult track, like, you're going to get all these spades. If you start sweeping the cults and then, like, winning network, like, the game can get out of hand.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the 5 free spades I'm getting this game. They're going to be sick.
And the fact that you're now getting a north town is a little bonkers.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I'm going to run out of stuff to dig eventually. Oh, no, I can't get over it. I can't DC you or D7 you. That's a clutch move. Cultists, if you can ever... I'm drawing with my pen thing again, I think, if it will turn on. I know you guys can't see this. I have a little cool pen plug-in now. Cultist people, if you can ever dig this town, this is a very good town. You start here, you get 2 ship, and you just go bam, and take this red hex, and you just have an entire town with engineers, and you just go on both sides, and life is very good for... Well, they'll give you all the steps you want, usually. It's good stuff. I don't think I get to do that here.
So I have a question for you, Mr. Don. So why fly with the spade? So why not dig like E3 with your landscape and then fly on I7, for example, and get one more dwelling out this way, instead of spending your priest on flying to dig your landscape?
I wanted to pass early because if the cultists pass before me, I can't dig e5.
Gotcha.
So they would probably take it, or maybe not. I don't know, but I think e5 is good for me.
Okay.
If I get e5, I maybe not even need in this game the take a city with reach. I think that's also interesting for cults, for queues.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh.
What are you passing on to then, Don?
Sorry, my phone was off. Sorry, what did you say?
No worries. I assume, are you passing now? And if so, what are you passing for? I'm just curious.
Let me see how the situation is. Do I get any other leech? Yeah, probably yes, right. I probably will pass on the priest.
Mm-hmm.
I will pass on the priest.
So what else is Danny doing? Would Danny stay in the round?
I have options to stay in the round. I could dig some stuff with my workers.
Yeah, 9 works gives you a little flex, right? It's kind of hard to read 9 workers.
Yeah.
Could dig some stuff. So I could stay in the round and build a trading post. I would build 2 next round anyhow. So it's just 3 points better. So that's 3 points. If I pass now, I probably get a coins action because fakirs are probably spading something that I could dig on them, which frankly I don't really want a hard dig next round. I need to town up. But the threat sometimes comes with a coins action. So I could pass now for worker power or ship VP. Ship VP in a coins action seems perfectly defensible. Or I could just score 3 victory points this round. And then Danny passes for ship VP and takes the coins. And then engineers are doing stuff. So then I pass on to the trading post bonus, which is 4 victory points. So engineers are staying in either way. And then I get 3 points now, and then Danny stays in which case I get the ship BP and coins. Or I lose ship BP and coins, but then I just get 4 BP and a worker. Other question is I don't really have coins to even build my town. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of talking out loud.
Should
So your
not have
town-
brought this whole bottle
Yeah.
of whiskey to the computer.
So it's
That was a
more
mistake.
it's more alcohol than coffee now. The coffee part's finished.
Yeah, the coffee's gone. And I made the mistake of bringing the Highland Park bottle. Oh boy.
I think I have to.
You could
Whoop,
you,
whoop,
you
whoop.
could you could undo that mistake. I mean, it's physically possible to undo it, but
To undo what?
will you though?
What are you guys talking
the
about?
question.
Whether I'm gonna drink myself into oblivion tonight or not. I just realized this, like Weber's going 4 degrees deep on something, and I'm like, whoa, I think I'm a little drunk.
A little too drunk
been
to
a
deal
long
with my
week.
nonsense of like microing a pass
Yeah.
tile that's super unnecessary because they're just both kind of the same. Who cares?
Hey, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I passed because I actually just don't have the coins to. I don't know. I just.
Passing was the right move, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. The other answer
If
is
you
just
don't-
ask
good.
Danny. And he'll just tell you. That's a nice pass, Danny.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
clutch for
it's
Danny.
it's
I
okay.
think
I mean,
mermaids look pretty good, right?
8 points
get
in
the
round 3
city.
on the pass is pretty juicy.
I have some prospects of scoring, but we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. I just don't really like. My plan was to have a trading post not on E4, but have one trading post on H4 and I10 because I thought fakirs were coming on I7 and maybe trying for Fire 2 stuff and digging one of the grays to get a second town this round, but that didn't pan out. That was my initial idea.
I want you to next time to go for F4 when there are entries in the game. So if you start H4, so that you
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah. Well, I considered it. I went H4 because it was mostly about F4 and having H5 as the backup plan. But yeah,
You just wanted to see what the friendly mermaid life was like.
yeah, exactly.
You just
'Cause I've
wanted to
already
give
done.
engineers the hexes they wanted and cultists the steps they needed.
Well, engineers are sort of. I mean, they're sort of hindered right now. You know, G2, and they're not doing. They're doing good, but it's not it hasn't been breezy for them either, I think.
No, but I think the reason it hasn't been breezy for engineers is just because they've been spade blocked. They haven't gotten the power that they wanted. Other people, it's more been like power shifting and tempo in this game. Like no one really took any hexes here that we didn't expect. Like they got D4 and lost G2, and you didn't take F4 on them. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like engineers board state in terms of territory looks exactly average. It's just that like I think there was some annoying stuff with spades getting taken from you, Fickles, and you didn't. You gave me 3 coins in round 1, which was very nice of you.
also, F4 doesn't really hurt NGs that much considering G2 is gone. Like when you like it does, of course, but then they can still 2-town with C3, for example, instead of the
Yeah,
F4.
exactly.
It's
So it's
it's just 3 ship to I6, which is more grays in the west, right?
yes, that's the main.
I'm just doing this. This is totally the right move, Don. I realized that E5 isn't an empty threat from me, that it's actually hard digging
No.
that just would have opened up a brown for me, so I totally would have taken it if you gave it to me.
Huh.
You wouldn't have taken it?
No, I would have. I would have hard dug it and just figured out it opens up another brown in the south. That's why it's good. I have no access to H3.
Oh.
It would have been awkward, but I mean,
I wonder. I could just single dig G4 and take it away from you since you were greedy on the coins.
yeah.
And that's sort of the aggressive move that I'm not sure it is worth it, but it really puts a serious. It hurts you, but
Does it?
I don't know if that. Well, you don't really town this round.
I don't
I
town
guess.
this round, so it's 2 points
But-
extra. It's 2 points. Towning
Yeah.
this round is a point worse, unless it gives me the econ to ship town, and I think it's trading a spade. I always feel weird
Yeah.
saying this because I'm trying to argue not to dig my things, and I'm trying to be
No,
objective
but
here.
it's true. It's just a thought that I don't think I'm doing it because I don't think it's good. But
If you had upgraded
some-
digs or something, but like
yes,
we're just trading workers, like I guess I could just dig it back. I don't know.
true. Let's go for this, and let's convert.
I never thought leaving a brown a G4 in front of mermaids to take a coin sack was greedy, but apparently
No, but
it wasn't
sometimes
black or something.
let's go for priest down. Sure.
So does Don have enough to town this round? He does.
Priest to worker, fire 2. Don, does it require fire 2? Must.
Yeah.
I think I don't go this line. I am more looking now. If Fickles does not take water 1, then I have a rough decision taking water 1. But generally, I would prefer the double tick more in this round.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because if I have the double tick, I could take E5, E3, and maybe at one point H3. And I
Yeah.
have a lot of jumps. I have a lot of jumps, can make 2 towns, and don't need to take at the end of the game the range
Right, right.
town time. So imagine that E8 and B4 will be gone anyway. Of course, if I can reach E8 or B4, then the range tile is still very tasty.
E8
But,
might be available. I feel like E8 is just, well, I guess it's a connection hex. Like I have to B4 or B5 here. So yeah, I don't know.
I was saying that E8 is under constantly threatened. So I guess
A range town like allows you, I guess, to get B1 that you wouldn't otherwise get. which
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
isn't
Yeah,
necessarily enough cause to take a range town for, 3 workers, right? But
let's see.
Figure out
Yeah,
if
but
there's a stronghold line here.
Oh,
yeah, stronghold line. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I could, if I, sorry, would be cool.
I would just jump on the double dig if I were you. Or maybe it's like double dig or water one. I think the stronghold line is.
Yeah.
Because then you're committed to like digging D6. Because where's your third bridge, right?
G1,
you go
F2. Oh no, you're never getting F2 when you're talking about. Yeah, D6, I guess. Huh.
Yeah, I suppose this is true. This is right.
You're also on the
Too
TP
bad.
tile.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize that building a stronghold means you don't have to build another trading post out of round next round, but you're on the pass tile, so anyhow.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry for being slow.
No, it's fine.
No problem.
All right. Yeah. This is probably.
You gave some context as to why maybe that might happen.
I mean, this looks pretty nice.
Yeah. True.
Why not C3 right now and town up?
I'm waiting and I'm
Uh-huh.
deciding what my plan is here.
Right.
I'm
not quite sure which town you want. Yeah.
I'm not a 2-key threat, so.
Oh, I see. If 2-key is interesting for you.
Oh no, 2-key is not interesting
Okay.
to me. So
I'm
not. I don't think there's really a rush to anything. So I'm just.
I see.
I'm thinking a little bit.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I wonder if I should have given some thought into 2-key for.
Maybe.
Like I just jumped on the priest immediately, but the priest town, but maybe the 2-key town was decent for me.
I mean, there's some cheap points at the bottom of those cults.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see. I usually like priest town. It's a good town for me. I think that's what I was liking in my sort of economy. So
yeah, I think with the delay on your temples and stuff, I think just getting more
Mhm.
priests into circulations, whether you upgrade shipping or toss them to cults, I think just more priests for you is pretty good.
Yeah, there's some lines of upgrading digging maybe eventually, or
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know. So want to keep these options open.
Danny has almost as many points as me and Fickles combined. Sick.
A little scary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I haven't talked at all about really favorite tiles of this game. So, Danny, you ended up finally building a temple last round
This round.
and took water one.
Yes. Because I'm building another one this round too and taking air one.
And taking
I
air
think
one.
Yeah, that's the plan. Because I wanted to secure water one and free up some TPs for next round. So I think that's taking both of these favors now. I think is a good deal for me.
I'm trying to figure out in my own game whether or not I want the 2-key town. It doesn't seem amazing.
It's not written in the sky that you're gonna town this round.
Pardon?
It's not written in the sky that you're gonna town up this round. It's not clear.
No, I don't have to, basically. It's...
Yeah.
Well, I guess if I town up this round, I probably get another Cult Spade out of the deal. I probably get a second Earth Spade.
A way you could town is maybe like take the single dig action and dig G6 and do 2 dwellings instead of having trading posts.
It's totally true. I don't do that enough as cultist. I don't know why. I think it's because it looks ugly, which is not a reason to do it. But like cultists always overtown. They're not a 3-town faction, so I don't know why I don't dig G6 more often. It just seems
I mean, in this game, yeah, it's not 3 towns for you. Like there's maybe
No.
some lines where you'd sort of dig b5 with 3 ships and come down through
Yeah.
d8, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's that sort of game.
Yeah. I'm also trying to figure out, like, am I taking 2 keys or is it overkill? One of them just has to be used on water immediately, which is like, I'm winning it anyhow, and now I just lost a key. It's interesting because there's a line where I can steal air this round on fakirs, and 2 key really helps that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, that's true.
and then it helps me get the
And it
earth
gives
spade and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it can't be bad.
and 5 leech tokens also. That's also not bad.
Yeah, and the third total key is probably going to be important. I will want the third key if I want to lock up another cult, so I guess I probably do it.
Yeah, I think G6 is the way to go.
I think it is.
Good.
I think you're super right. And I just hit the track really nicely.
Yeah, you can even use that dig on, like one dig on E10 and the other one on A8, sort of, or both of them in the north, and yeah, do large white towns.
Yeah.
So, Fickles, do you still think you're gonna have a shorter time than me?
No, I don't. No, I really don't. I'll play you bullet sometime though.
Yeah, of course.
I'll see if I can break 15 minutes.
Oh, I'm pretty confident you can. Yeah. I'm just gonna get this bridge, I think, now. Probably. Well, just get that out of the way.
Before Fickles has any more stronghold ideas.
Yeah.
And, it becomes... and
Really
suddenly he
wanted to.
inserts a demand of approximately 2 more bridges into the game. Yeah. So chat, I'm just giving you fair warning. How much are you guys going to hate it if my G6 dig is single spade and 3 power and not... Well, I guess it has to be. Sorry, that was a boring question. It had to be. Damn it, I thought that was one of those chat test things I could ask them about. If I had 15 workers, I might still do it, just to see if I could bug chat.
Nah, I think, yeah, there's a big leap between 3 and 6 workers. I think it's like, it hits harder for some reason when you have to spend 6 workers on something. Because usually you don't, that's all you have usually. You have around 6 or 7 workers. Mm-hmm. Unless you're dwelling rush mermaids that does nothing in round 2.
Fickles, putting in work on that Earth cult?
Well, again, I had a job to do.
You did.
If there was one thing that I was going to do this game, it was going to
You had one job. Yes.
Now, if only DanyB. I mean, this sled we're pulling is extremely lopsided.
I know it's a shame given how the cults are breaking for me that I'm probably taking 2 key town here. But yeah.
I can still pull some weight on water. Maybe. We'll see if it's
I think it's going to be locked up in 2 actions, so I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. It's...
DanyB is about to do some like
wizard.
chaos magician style water 2, water 3.
Yeah.
If only. I like temples, but not that much. I think committing a 3rd temple is a bit extreme.
It's a lot of temples.
A lot of temples.
I mean, I guess the question is, well, you don't have the economy for it, but the reason you'd want to do that is if you were planning on building 3 trading posts next turn, which I guess if you're building 3 temples, you probably don't.
Even if I do that, then I probably save the temple for the next round in order to not ruin the economy of my trading post. Probably. If I do choose to do that, yeah.
Okay, I'm counting. Really love to get on Fickles' tile next round.
A.
And I feel like Fickles is building an expensive trading post, probably. Oh, he super is to town up. And then he has a priest, which he can use, but doesn't have to. So if I dig g6 now, and then he towns up, and then I go f7, and then he passes, Fakir's out of the round, and I get to pass. And then if he wants to throw his priest somewhere, then I'll priest to air, or something like that. All right, cool, good talk. Close enough.
So I think I dig and I don't build right away. Because maybe there's some hope of me passing for Fickle styles, and he has a priest left. So
Passing for
let's see.
Fickle's tile.
Oh,
No,
you
no,
just
no.
them's fighting words.
Well,
Webber's about
I'm
to throw
after
down.
Fickles, so I get his tile and you get ship VP. I thought we had this all worked out. I don't know how you're passing.
Well, I don't think I can. Well, I could outlast you maybe. I'm not. Well, perhaps. I'm not sure how it's going down.
Well, if you don't outlast me, then you get neither. So I think you're getting ship VP or anything you currently see on the board, unless I completely forgotten how player order works.
I'd sort of like to have ship VP for last round though, because I'm gonna build a stronghold probably. So I don't want to sort of max out prematurely on ships.
Okay, so Fickles is doing a bit of a slow play situation, my man. Oh, just cycling that power. Right.
I can barely keep my own game straight, so if I'm affecting other people, I apologize. You know.
Well, no, this makes sense because then you're accepting this 2-for-1 that I give you, and then your expensive trading post. You don't have to burn power tokens. I assume that was what this was all about.
See, 2 steps ahead. You're looking like halflings over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where this step is going.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Is it to air? I guess it's... Oh, shut up, guys. No, fair enough. Fair enough.
No, I'm totally kidding.
It's a good point. I'm being a total jerk. I send it, I use it on fire. Yeah.
Build this dwelling. You see, you guys are catching up to me. You know, it's happening.
Yeah. Fickles and I are on a team together secretly. Surprise, this is 2v2. And it's 2v1.
Hey, what about Don? He's doing okay. 3 temples. He's gonna have some life.
I'm not sure.
You have water wand at least, so that's something.
My work economy is not good. Also a little bit coin short.
Yeah.
Now I'm considering if I should try to take the TP tile from Fickles. I could take a priest, and I should get it then.
I think so, yeah.
That's maybe not a bad idea, but that's just 4 points for me, but I take it away from you.
Take it away from me.
But the spade would be also good, and taking coin action.
Yeah, so it's an expensive priest. So you spend 3 power, which is like a 6 coin priest, because you lose the coin action. So you spend 6 coin, I don't know, yeah.
But I rather would take actually the worker action, because I get so many priests and have then 8 workers. Get some coins at least. Yeah, but I do this. I take the workers. I try this line.
So I guess I just upgrade shipping here for points, because I need shipping upgraded at some point. and I can kind of afford it,
Yeah.
roughly. Won't sit here and count that. I don't have enough coins, right? I need another coin.
Yeah, you just convert a bit of power.
There
And you're
we
fine.
go. It's fine, as Logus would say.
Let's see here.
I assume this is the spade, followed by the
Um,
TP tile.
I have 2 digs coming off the cult right now.
Oh,
So the spade is not super exciting to me.
you have 1 shipping, right? So it's just a random. It would just be a random dig somewhere
Yeah,
for a future
random.
dwelling.
Yeah. Which is okay, but I'm wondering if a fifth worker
Yeah.
is better.
I think it puts pressure on if you take a spade and you sort of don't fill your already caught spades, it sort of puts pressure on you to maybe do stuff that you don't necessarily want to do, perhaps.
Yeah. I think I'm worker power.
Are you able to collect all the? Oh yeah, 5. Wait, but then you're getting worker power coin. You're not getting 2 of the power.
Is that right?
2 of the power. So you're spending 2 coins and a spade to get a
Wait, I'll
power
have
and a
13.
worker.
I can take exactly 13.
Yeah.
Right?
You can take, yeah,
You can take
exactly
11.
13. 3 plus 8, yeah, that's 11.
Yeah. So it's worker
11.
power coin. Yeah, because you have 5 power in bowl 2, right? You're 350.
Hmm.
So you can collect 11 power. So it's worker power coin versus spade 3 coins. So you're giving up 2 coins and a spade for a worker and a power.
That doesn't sound good. Yeah, it's got to be spade. Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
Not to be math neurotic, but
No, I had a little like dyslexic moment where I thought I had 5 power in bowl 1.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wait. I had 5 in bowl 1 and 3 in bowl 2. Hey, what? I Friday night I don't think I'm at my peak form. But I'm relaxed and having fun. Maybe that's more important.
That's the most important part.
It's not good if it's supposed to be educational.
I have 8 dwellings on my board, which means I can build a trading post now, and it's not that bad. Even though I lose points, I gain 2 coins, and then I possibly get Danny's 6 coin tile instead of worker power coin, or worker 3 power coin.
I'm happy with the worker 3 power.
So the question is, for me, if I do that, does Danny pass? So that's what I'm thinking right now. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Do I care about a cult step? Probably. Oh, I'm going to give engineers free power now that they can't accept, I think, is the play. Don accepted that. Okay, was not expecting that. Fair enough.
Another conundrum.
Oh no, Aaron with a cult step. Better run your clock for 5 minutes.
I mean, that's just fire, right? I guess or you could jump, like try to secure air. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna secure. I'm just gonna go with the
Yeah.
air now. Save me a
Fakirs
free
eventually. Yeah, they'll get a town eventually. Fakirs, so.
All right. More stuff. I like stuff. Lots of spades coming in. Oh, yeah, 2 for Fickles, followed by 2 for me. I guess when we were talking about bridge spots for you, Fickles, there is a fourth one. It's from F4 to G3, this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about trying to do something a little funky here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if there's a third town location for me.
Oh,
I'd love to know where that is on this map and this board state.
Yeah, so I
let's
believe
find it.
Yeah, so I have one in mind. Let's see if you can guess it, and we'll sit here for 15 minutes.
Perfect.
is this some sort of crazy landscape through
It-
I8, G3,
no.
I9?
Oh, we're playing with
H6?
landscapes. Important.
This landscape game?
This is a landscape
Oh, I didn't
game.
even
It
know
is.
that. Oh,
It
wow.
is.
Okay. No, I'm wondering if there's a North Town. Because Aaron's going to A8 for sure. I could
Yeah.
actually. It's a lot of digs, but I have 3 digs right now, so I'd only need 2 more digs after this.
Like on the
Not-
A row, A9 through
like
A12.
if I take B4, which hurts Fakirs, and then I am digging like C4, A9, I have A10, D6.
Ah, right.
I mean,
I'm wondering if that's possible.
hurts Fakirs.
Oh.
I think Fakirs doesn't care about it. I think I care about B4, don't I? More than Fakirs?
But I think you don't need to dig before. If you make A9 and take your landscape, go to C4 and then D6. That's more
Yeah.
beautiful, and that works much better, I think.
I know you guys can't see this, but on stream I have like a little pen tool, and I just wrote that for the viewers. It's like C4, D5, A9, A10. Don, I assume this is what you're referring to. And then a bridge that I've never seen before from A9 to C4. Or mess with my stuff on B4 is totally defensible as well. But
Yeah, I think that's good for both of you. If you go A9, A10, C4, D6, build the city there. If you anyway have 3 digs and you just need one more dig to build it.
So it would be like A10, D5 with the cult spades, and you landscape C4.
A10, D6.
A10, D6, and you spade your landscape on C4.
Exactly, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Works.
All right, let me try it.
That seems pretty good.
It might be really stupid, but I'm gonna try.
I don't think so. I think that's just a part of the board that like usually is not just there. Like I don't know if green's in or black or something. I don't know. It's usually not just chilling like that. I think it's fine though.
And when you miss water 1, you kind of have to find other ways to make points, you know.
Right, and a third town with 3 bridges and a round 6 stronghold is one of those ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Fakirs wanted these coins. Ouch.
I guess Fickles, you just expect like the workers just come back to you, and I assume that's the other 4 power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see you guys taking workers here.
Nope. Pretty sure Fakirs aren't interested in them.
I love rounds where you can get coins and workers on power.
Oh yeah.
It's a good feeling.
So great.
It's like having like 4 more buildings out on the board.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Got punished one time in the Premier League for trying to be greedy with Giants, though, where I desperately needed, it was like round 2, I desperately needed priest and coins. And so I didn't think anyone wanted priest round 2. So I took coins and then was able to wheel priest to get my 1 ship to expand.
Right.
And then I got punished because then like Barnawal Orin like triple dug the E8 yellow, which I was like, what?
Oh,
Like, and it like set me back so bad.
I think I remember that game. I remember
just did
seeing
not
it.
think that Orin would ever triple dig E8 round 2.
Snake, yeah, sorry. I was distracted by this wonderful engineer's town. You did redeem a mod poll, and I don't see Deranged or AJ, which is fine. They're not full-time staff or something. Maybe they are, and they just don't show up to work. I mean, who knows? There should totally be a poll. So the next question is, and I'll turn it over to you guys, what kind of poll should there be? What are the questions of the poll? Or Snake, maybe you have an actual poll that you want to push to chat. Knock yourself out. I'm just going to think about my move and I'll come back to that, Snake. No, not really.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Fickles.
So what is Jekyll thinking about your game, Mr. Fickles?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I don't know. I'm just glad she's not like shit talking me in the chat. There's, yeah. Yeah. Not sure.
You're
Not
doing
sure
some creative stuff. It's you're
Yeah,
salvaging
let's
it.
see. Let's
Yeah.
see. I'm trying to think about this. Tell you what, that'll be another bridge on the board, which will tempt me with the stronghold again. Hmm. Okay.
I guess you sort of want both dwellings on A10 and then
Hi, how are you doing today?
single dig A9 or C4 TP dwelling. That's sort of what you want, right?
Say it again. Sorry.
I guess you just want to fill that northern town, right? A10, D6, and then build on C4 or A9, whichever.
Yeah. It is a TP round, and I have. It's interesting. I have some considerations here, right? Like, Air 1 would make a lot of sense as well. So part of me is wondering, yeah, because the bummer with the landscape is it has to go on one of the ones that will be adjacent to Weber's buildings. So I'm just working through that a little bit.
Yeah.
I am waiting for Fickles to possibly come to either of those hexes because I would rather a cult step or a decline. I realize normally a 1-for-1 leech isn't a good trade with engineers, but I totally am guilty of going out of my way to give engineers power. So I am doing this first. Yeah, the thing is, at this point, everyone just gives me the steps, because who cares, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the battle has already been lost.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I think this priest should go to air.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Sorry, that was my thing that I'm spending way too long to think about, Aaron. Was even on my last round, I like thought about that priest to air for like a minute and then didn't do it, and then it came to my turn again. I was like, I'm gonna think about this even longer.
Just circling back.
Fickles sounds sleepy.
Circling back on the poll thing. This is actually really handy because we've never actually stopped to ask who's actually winning this silly thing. I don't really know.
I'm barely keeping it together here, Aaron.
Okay.
It feels like cultists to me.
It feels like cultists. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I guess it was foreseeable as the only cult faction. We probably should have bid them a little bit more.
Also,
yeah, I think the
ship Northtown was clutch.
Yeah, the shipping in round 2 was good, I think.
Yeah,
that was pretty decisive.
You were always going to get an insane amount of leech, though. That's the thing that's easy to forget. Like on that E6, you know, you kind of get down because you're like, I probably won't get a town there, but you get so many 2-for-1s.
Oh,
I thought
thanks,
actually
Danny.
that
I
thought
sorry, what were those factions, Danny? 40 for Fakirs, 26
Yeah,
for... Oh, you're
I'm
typing
writing
it
it
in?
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off like twice in a row, Don. Go ahead.
just saw that that Cardis would much more struggle with coins in this game, but you did well actually. That was not so big issue. Because if you there are just it's just one coin bonus style and you pretty early got on advanced shipping, but
Yeah.
you didn't have really troubles with it, so it's interesting.
Well, sometimes with E6, the problem is it's like E6 to securing your connection in the north and maybe carving out a town is a 3-ship investment. But with the combination of temp ship and digging B3, it actually meant that like I could have stayed on 1 ship this entire game and pulled like a witches thing and just done 3 ship in the last round. I only upgraded ship even a second time last round for points because I felt I had the econ to do it. So that almost doesn't count because that was like optional. So it was a really nice sequence that I was basically able to do the like stranded E6 expand to the north stuff on a line where I only paid for 1 ship advance and didn't build a second temple until round 3. And then I also got coins in round 1, which I think was pretty dope. Oh, and do I just get the trading post pass style here?
Oh, those were the coins I was supposed to take, right?
Yeah. So yeah, they were really handy.
This is a good, experiment.
Exactly.
What happens when NGs just hand 3 coins to cultist round 1?
Yeah, it's not good.
But I would really have liked this game is like a dwelling round 5 or 6 would have been amazing for me.
Yeah. Would have been pretty good.
Right.
Because you still have like access to H6 and I9. I thought about digging one of these for my town, but it didn't. There was maybe some scenarios where it happened, but it didn't this game.
Look at that. I'm getting a free power.
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
You know what's funny, Weber? Because I feel like I've spent a lot of time with you because I've heard your voice so long.
No, I've like never
Isn't that
played
funny?
before.
Like you feel very, very familiar to me, but it's like very, it's probably one-sided because I've just heard you. Although I've guessed you've probably heard me catch.
No, it
but,
totally
like,
is the thing because you're another name that's just like I'm aware of your games. You've commented on a ton of streams. It's sort of the same thing. It is kind of weird. I don't actually think I've played you that much.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Like maybe a couple times early on or something. It's the same thing. Like I've hardly played Rainier. When he was playing a ton of arena games, like during like the Fire and Ice season and stuff like that, like he was just always playing at different hours. Same thing. Like I feel like I'm on the guy's stream all the time. I chat with him on Discord a ton, but like I've played like 2 games with him I think in my entire life.
Yeah, Jekyll was pointing this out to me that like people's like the times of day that they play are just very like systematic, and so
totally
Jekyll's a night owl. She's commenting on me being sleepy. I'm a morning person, so this is actually the biggest source of conflict in our relationship is the fact that she's a night owl and I'm a morning person. So she's playing the late night people and the West Coasters. I tend to not make it that late.
Yeah, it was. Well, I'm not with that person anymore, but it was when I was with her, it was the same dynamic. I'm also a morning person, much more than idol, and she was an idol. And yeah, the sleep schedules and the sleep patterns were virtually like opposite. So it was.
Yeah, when I
tricky.
try to like hang with her, I'm like, this is fun. And then, the next day I'm like, just can't get anything done. And I'm like, it just reminds me of college. Like, I feel like that's what I used to do. She just never left college. She just lives like she just does what the hell she wants. Yeah.
Well, chat thinks I'm winning. with a large sample size of one person. So
Yeah, I was
whoever-
about to say, get voting, folks. There's your poll, and this is actually an important question that we should cover at some point in the game. Poll. Is it the poll go away? Was that already 5 minutes? Okay, I think so. Danny just wins.
yeah,
second.
that's how it's decided.
I'm passing, and I
so-
have no place for these cult spades because I still need to hard dig down a landscape if I need all these structures out.
Snake Xer, you didn't wake up at 6 a.m. to watch the open table, did you?
Oh, he super did.
Is he in Australia or New Zealand?
New Zealand. Yeah, he's
Didn't see that,
the
did he?
Canadian version of Australia.
I met Jekyll in New Zealand, actually. That's
Whoa.
where
Wow.
we met. Yeah. So, special place.
I'm just gonna pass.
Oh, wow. I have so much stuff still. What are you guys doing?
I don't know. I thought you might have just passed because the tile was there. If I didn't,
Me? Oh, yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't have noticed, but yeah.
But you have a lot of stuff to do. I
Yeah,
think.
there's a lot of stuff. That cost me a worker.
Oof.
So I think this is temple for Air 1. Seems right, probably.
Yeah.
Still trying to
sure.
figure out how to work a. I'm still trying to figure out how to work a
The stronghold.
into this. But I think temple for Air 1's better. Sadly.
I guess the stronghold is must be approached with the mentality: if it happens, it happens.
Yeah. I think yeah. Well, anytime I do an early bridge to C2, that's when
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, maybe this is a stronghold game. You know, because usually you don't do that, but it's sometimes if you don't get the hexes, you bridge there instead.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that got me all worked up. I needed with a bridge there, yeah, maybe round. Anyway, no, it's just not very good.
It's like programmed into your brain. Like if bridge before C2, then think about stronghold.
Yeah. So let's see. I mean, I could do an expensive TP here. That's actually probably the right play, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if
think
you want
it
a town, up in that spot,
Yeah. It's
you need
probably
to.
just
And
expensive TP.
A10s. Well, I guess D6 is never gonna have a neighborhood we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do that. Did I remember to use my spade? I did. Okay, good. All right. I tell you what, I do recommend Highland Park 12-year. I don't know if it's the good company or if it's actually good, but I'm enjoying myself here.
Not a huge fan
Okay,
of.
what do I need?
Not a huge fan of whiskey. I don't know. It's not
Like,
for me.
yeah, as long as it's not too peaty, I'm down. All right, stay focused. I'm sorry, folks. What is this? This is slim pickings.
It is. It's. I mean, you got 6 coins, which is
What am I in the mood for here?
It's like 2 points, maybe. Probably.
Six.
at this at this point for you.
Yeah, I guess that's that, isn't it? My God.
I mean, if you have like
Yeah, it's gotta be. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. It's obviously that. I'm sorry.
it's
I
6
just
coins.
took like way
Yeah,
too long to yeah, my bad.
no problem.
Oh, I'll take that 2-point scroll. Let's go.
I guess this goes here.
So one of my spades goes on E8. And then I think I have an extra spade left because I have to dig down a landscape anyhow. Unless I don't dig down a landscape.
10.
Then it's E10.
You probably can win network if you get enough hexes.
I think, yeah, I might have had too many hexes, and it's one of these things that like if I want my landscape down, then I have to hard dig it anyhow, right? Which means I now have 4 browns. So the only reason it actually made sense to do it like this is if I'm going stronghold, trading post, and then 4 dwellings, leaving the landscape. I don't know if I can afford that. Otherwise, there's a world where I was actually supposed to just turn G3 to back to green or something. But whatever. I'm keeping it flexible. Which is my general excuse for not playing aggro, because I'm too much of a wussy
A
to
nice guy.
be annoying. Yeah.
That's fair.
Staying
I mean,
flexible.
it's possible that you, my current feeling, I'm wondering if you, I guess I've built a decent amount. I was wondering if you can win network without putting your landscape down even, but.
Well, I think either way, I'm getting, like, the best option is that I get out 4 more structures, right? Like, I can get out 3 dwellings in a landscape or a stronghold, a trading post, and the other dwelling, and no more. So I think either way, I'm just 4 more structures here. I can't imagine I'm more than that. And I'm just doing the calcs here, and then I don't need another ship advance. So what does that look like? 9 workers, which I have, so I can convert everything into coins. I need 26 resources, 17, 20. Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh,
I have more than enough
Nakexer
resources.
woke up at 6 a.m. to play in Open Table. Dude, you're a champ.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a sleepy guy. What are Fakir's up to?
Makes 2 of us.
Just want the towns and get some dwellings out.
All right.
Yeah, that's fair. We still have a town coming, Aaron. Okay. We have 90 points and a town coming up. Interesting.
I wonder if my town has ever been done before. Feel like maybe not.
I don't think I've seen this, but it's not that bizarre. Like, usually when someone's done a town that they've never seen before, it's Nerd Cube involving, like, 14 spades and 11 bridges or something, making, like, the Star of David on fjords. But this actually looks fairly normal. This is just, like, 4 digs for 4 hexes. Like, I don't know why we haven't seen this.
It's because usually mermaids are over there.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Everyone's up in that. Right. D5 mermaids.
The cost of me doing this town is not getting G3 and getting more natural gray hexes. If there was a late dwelling round, I 100% would have gone more that route.
So if green is in this arrangement, they're on C4, let's say, certainly before engineers can do anything about it, probably. And then if it's mermaids, they're usually D5, C4 stuff. But if it's swarmlings in this color wheel, like this is like a slightly different mermaids arrangement, but you could almost kind of expect there's a non-zero chance in a mermaids game or in a swarmlings game where cultists are successful in beating fakirs to the north.
Yeah.
Maybe? Is that the recipe?
Maybe. But also, I think most of the times, well, on base map, most of the high-scoring games with NGs are usually 2 towns, not 3 towns.
Yeah, it's true.
Because usually it's more efficient to just spam your buildings wherever they are because you score so much with them and not worry too much about digging because it's sort of awkward for digs. Because engineers only need 4 digs for 2 towns when you think about it, sort of, and a bridge, right?
Yeah.
I think this is a decline. I don't think this power does much for me.
Just double checking. Stronghold. Oh, I only counted. Was short a dwelling when I counted. I need 9 workers and 17 coins from this state.
We will be seeing the stronghold in case anyone cares. Yeah, I mean it's a lot cooler. It's a lot cooler when it's like round 4, round 6.
Yeah.
This route does allow me to do the stronghold.
Yeah, at least I think you can you get all 3 bridges probably, right?
I
think so.
Yeah.
I think if you take the workers action or the bridge action, right?
I'm taking bridge next.
Yes. You don't want to spend 1 extra power for your bridge. You're not interested.
Show you. I can do it.
And then you're 1 power short of doing one thing you want. It's like-
I have a conversions question here. I'm at 017 and I'm allowed to convert. If I do not convert and Fickles gives me the accept, can I down convert before securing fire? Does anyone remember? I always forget.
I think the latter is the correct one. I think you can.
I think you can, but if I decline, then you can't convert after power is gained through a decline.
Yeah, I think once power is gained, you can't really go back. I think you can't
Oh,
decline.
that's the rule. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel like Weber, you're much better than me at squeezing points out at the margin. You seem like you nail the details.
Devil is in the details.
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I'm impressed.
Oh, this bridge is, I mean, that's my OCD, but this bridge is a bit askew. Like it's just slightly tilting to the left. It's
Wait, your F2H2 bridge?
nah, the one Fickle just put
Oh,
down,
it
the
is. It's
C4 too.
crooked.
I'm gonna talk to Rinsevent about that.
So I apologize. Didn't mean to put it down crooked.
Also, the weird thing is the way the artwork is done. It's trying to give it some like three-dimensional effect, but of course that's not how dimensions work. So the only way you'd be seeing this is it's actually kind of like an Escher painting because we're looking at a perfect bird's eye view, but you're seeing the both corners of it, which means that it has to be suspended off the table and pointed slightly above you. Look at the bridge. It would never lay on a board like that, anyhow.
Yeah, that's fair.
Question. So this is kind of important. So the light is shining on the board from the right side, right? Like the left of pieces. I guess, yeah, it's working quite well actually. So if it's just it's the horizontal bridges that kind of ruin the effect.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
I don't think BGA has a huge like dynamics department.
I'm gonna put a comment in about horizontal bridges and the shadowing.
I think their dynamic lighting department is like 2 lines of CSS, but anyhow, what am I doing?
I love the BGA implementation of. I just laugh when people are like, "I prefer Snellman over BGA." I'm just like, "What? Why? It's so ugly." Like. Like I know there's a lot of like nostalgia associated with Snellman, and I hear that, but I just have a hard time like in the modern era where we value aesthetics and design and whatnot. It's like hard for me to get past that.
Yeah.
Have you guys been following the new factions that are coming out?
Yeah.
I've seen them.
It's insane. I can't believe they're releasing 14 new factions. Or is it even
crazy.
Is it 14? No, it's 16.
It's 16. There's 2 I don't know if they're variable or if they're like fire or ice. I'm not quite sure on
They're variable, they said. Now
they're
that you mention
variable?
it. Yes, it's
Okay.
coming back to me, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just
That's crazy.
can't believe that. It's wild.
The latest one that they like, the one that digs with coins and stuff, that's crazy. That's such a good idea.
I haven't been following this, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I still
There's-
barely understand the rules of the Fire and Ice factions because I.
There's this faction that can spend 4 coins to dig. That's how they
You
dig.
mean take single spade? Boom, boom. No, did that joke fall flat? Sorry, go on. Yes.
Yeah, and they have some sort of holes in their worker income, just akin to like Dragon Lords or engineers. Not exactly the same places, but yeah, I'm not sure what to think of them. It's wild.
Shit.
Yeah, that's weird.
Priest. Oops.
What happened?
Can I undo this real quick? I don't have a
Yeah.
priest in my hand.
Yeah, go for it.
Of course.
Or anything? Yeah, my bad.
Don't you hate it when you don't have a priest right in
Yeah.
front of you? It's
Oops. Sure. Guess. So my bad. Not that this matters. I'm sorry. It's a little sad. All right. Let's so probably do I just convert it to a worker? I do. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I just think like honestly like I've just been learning the Fire and Ice factions a little bit, which have been out for a little while but are new to BGA. And honestly, just like 6 new factions are like I'm like they're like blowing my mind. You know, like I'm having it's like they're so unique that like I can just spend a day sitting and thinking about like lava factions, right? Like it's to think that there are 16 coming out. I'm like, I don't even know. It's almost too
Yeah,
much.
it's crazy. It really is. There's a lot of I think there's going to be a lot of excitement, and I think it's very cool that they're implementing them on BGA and allowing us to test them and give feedback. I think it's pretty. I'm really excited to try them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be wild. That's interesting. In the chat, they're saying heroic logic and Snake X are talking about goblins being the strongest.
I
I
uh,
I think I think the gold diggers are quite strong. I know there's
yeah.
different opinions on this, but I think they're going to be really good.
I'm not sure. Did you sort of understand how the stronghold works? Like the iconography is you get
Yes.
one coin, like
Yes.
for each. So
Do you want me
how
to
does that?
tell you?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
please.
they dig with 4 coins typically.
Uh-huh.
Um, After Stronghold, they dig with 3 coins. That's actually not that important, I think. What's interesting is to me, I think they're a late Stronghold faction, and what you do is when you get a button, right? You get an
Yeah.
action after the Stronghold, and
Yes.
it gives you, I believe, 1 coin per TP out by other players.
Combined.
Combined total.
Oh,
So if you think
jeez.
about it, now it's extremely expensive. It's 411, but if you think about it, if it's round 6 Stronghold, you pay for a 411 Stronghold, but there's no let there's gonna be
Like
you
right now
know
we have let's count right now. We
yeah,
have
right,
one,
right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 11 trading posts on the board. And
Total.
total 11, but
Yeah, so
you don't
imagine
count.
getting
You
let's
don't.
say you get 9 coins back because your own don't
Yeah,
count.
exactly.
So like
Yeah,
so
that's pretty
yeah,
sweet.
yeah, so it's not like not nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just pulled up the
Um
artwork for the faction board briefly for the viewer as well. You guys were going over that. Looks pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, the goats are pretty weird. Uh, goats these like 2. Everything is 2 power, and the dwellings cost 2, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about them either.
I think this is a big increase.
Faction or
I think I'm
for you.
increasing digs. Yeah. Am I wrong about that?
There's some maybe network considerations. I don't know if we're at the same level right now, I think. Oh no, you're one structure ahead of me.
Oh, wow. I should pay more attention. Okay.
So I probably
Yeah.
have the option of building I4. So you might maybe want to secure a dwelling, because I don't think I can build more than 2 dwellings probably.
Hmm.
Well, I could theoretically, but then I give up a ship advance, which is sort of 8 points, which I'm not sure I'm willing to do. So
I think I'm going to increase digs. 6 points is a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Danny, looks like you're upgrading ship a couple of times here.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm just building out a trading post and another dwelling and then passing. Don, it looks
I
like you're
should've-
building another town.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I hoped actually also to come to 14 structures, but I can't make it. Just can make 13.
So one interesting thing about the H4 start for mermaids is I think if you don't start there, I town in the southeast actually.
With the landscape, like through.
I probably just do like I just probably dig around there, like
Yeah.
H6, I10. There's two natural grays there, as opposed to me digging everything in the north.
Yeah, true. And in that game where you have a lot of cult spades, this becomes very much more a reliable
Right.
option. Yeah.
Right. Now I got my north town, but the south. The nice thing about the south is there's more natural grays, and then I also get to the southwest probably. So
Yeah.
I probably win network then because I
It
think
it
NG typically would win network here.
Yeah, it leans much more into your natural way of doing things as engineers to
Right.
like further your investment through H6 and H8.
So let's see here. What is Don Quixote doing?
Looks like we fight for third.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
gloves
for
are
sure.
off, my friend. The gloves are off.
Uh-huh.
All right. Heroic logic, the F and I factions. Yeah, I mean, I think some of it is familiarity. Like he was saying that people don't really like playing the Fire and Ice factions. I think the more familiar, like people like being good at things, and
Yeah.
when you like all of a sudden are back to square one, they're very different. Some of them are very different, and so like it's not that fun to go back to square one and being really bad with a faction. And like so I think
Yeah.
I think they're kind of interesting, and I think some of the factions are actually not quite as aggressive as they seem to be at first look.
Yeah. My favorite one, I think, is the shapeshifters that I've tried yet. They're so fun to play. I don't
I
know why
really like
it's
them with landscape.
yes.
It's really fun because landscape. So for those of you that don't know the do I want this? Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, the shapeshifter landscape allows you to switch your color without building the stronghold only once.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. I've had some crazy games with shapeshifters where I was like bid down to 3 VP and I had the option to go full 18 network, but I didn't. Like you get so much economy with that
Shapeshifters,
ability.
yeah, they win network almost automatically. It feels like
Yeah,
'cause-
it's
I have
crazy.
I think I've had like 3 games with them, and I think the least amount of structures I did was 16 or some ridiculous number like that. It's insane.
it's like alchemist level.
Yeah.
Like because you just shift at the end because you like basically you use your power and then you throw your power in the garbage at the end, but it's in bowl 1. You pay 5 kernels, but they're useless to you anyway, and then you just pick whatever hexes are still sitting around. You just pick that color and throw some dwellings down. And they can't increase digs, so they always have like 3 ship, it feels like.
Yeah.
Good game, guys.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah. Cultist willing network was a bit too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I got it.
It's you know what, Danny, I think the last time you and I played on a stream at some point, and you were also cultists, and it's when there's digs off the cults, cultists are like really big network threat, right? Like they can just expand. And I think we like the fact that like they're the only cult faction and there's digs off the cults. I think there's this upside risk.
Yeah.
I think
Brown gets a lot of cheap deals out of like one hex opens up another brown.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
That too. Yeah. I mean, they had a guaranteed good opening. I think maybe NGs are supposed to win network here. At least, I think if mermaids start D5,
Yeah.
maybe I push. I think I push cultist. Maybe I don't beat you on network, but I think maybe I tie you or something like that. But I think regardless, even if I think even if Danny starts D5, I think we didn't bid cultist enough probably.
Probably not, I guess. I mean, things could have gone. I guess they probably were always just getting to the north here. But it could have been. I guess the temp ship was actually just very helpful here. I didn't really think about temp ship as being helpful for cultists. I usually think about coins and ship VP. But
yeah, the other thing they were very safe to have tons of early steps, right? Like you're gonna get all your leech accepted in the east by NGs. You're getting all the leech accepted center. So there was no like real risk. Like sometimes if it's like say green instead of gray, you're digging away from green in the east, and then you kind of like don't get as many steps as you typically expect.
Yeah.
Whoa, 175.
Yeah, when cultists just run away with stuff, things can get kind of silly for them.
Yeah, that's
huge.
Yeah, bizarre game.
Oof.
Oh, look at that thinking time and Danny playing bullet. Classic.
What I do. Oh shit.
Still not as bad as
I mean,
but
I didn't play. I didn't play a round 2 to be candid, but that doesn't explain 30 minutes. But I mean, I guess.
At least I beat the host.
Normally I would do a bit longer of a post-game sort of breakdown, but I'm on a bit of a time pressure tonight just because, as I said, I'm at someone else's house and need to wrap things up. But just quickly, I just wanted to say thank you very much, guys, for coming on. It was an absolute blast to have you on. Don, Fickles, great to finally have you guys on. Danny, always good to have you back. Any sort of quick final words from any of you guys before we sort of wrap things up for this evening?
Yeah, cultist OP.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, well done, well played. I think the temp ship was a very good line, and that helped you open up very good lines for you. I think because if you don't get that north down in round 2, I think Fakirs might have a jump on that A7, and then things are looking a bit less stable for you. But nevertheless, pretty well done.
Awesome, thank you.
Fun hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, you too, guys.
Forward to another
Thanks
time.
a lot.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks
Don.
for the game.
Great playing with you.
Yeah.
Well,
take care.
Was nice.
And Fickles, I'll hold you to that word. We need you to get in that bullet thing.
All right.
And I'll play.
Let me see if I can think.
Yeah, I'll play a turn-based game. Okay, we'll do a fair exchange.
All right.
That's
good.
Yeah, of course. I ask you to give, but I also give. You know, it's a mutual exchange.
All right. Hey, see you guys. Fun hanging out.
Awesome. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in chat. Always appreciate it. Follow the channel if you haven't already for more updates, or jump into the Discord and you'll get notifications next time I go live. Once again, thanks to everyone for tuning in and for those participating in the game tonight. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, everyone.
Good night. See ya.
Bye.